Hello, welcome to White Birch Tarot and Astrology. This is a reading for this, well, I'm doing it for a lot of stuff, but there's this big thing happening that everybody's been talking about. You've probably heard about it if you listen to anything astrological, and I keep getting this guy's name wrong. I got it in my head wrong. I called him Barbault. It's Barbault, B-A-R-B-A-U-L-T. Barbault's basket, which is this thing. And I'm not going to talk about it a lot because I'm not a professional astrologer, and I really don't do a lot with the outer planets because they're more for the collective, and rather than the personal chart. But I will say this. If any of these outer planets, Pluto, Neptune, Uranus, and Jupiter is a transpersonal planet or interpersonal, I forget what they call it. So this one's more personal, and I will talk about Jupiter and Pluto. Anyway, if you know your chart, and if you have these transiting planets falling on your personal planets in your own chart, yes, they will affect you. I can attest to that. The outer planets, I don't care which one it is, when they land on your personal planets, oh yeah, they do. So, but this is sort of a, gigantic thing. I looked it up because I didn't really know about it, and so I've been reading about it, and it happened in 1789, the last time that we had this happen, this basket thing with Pluto in Aquarius and Jupiter in Leo. And when I saw the date 1789, I thought, wasn't that the French Revolution? Hey, I actually remembered something, a date. It was. July 14th, 1789 was the storming of the Bastille. How about that? And April 30th of 1789 was when George Washington was sworn in as the first president of the United States, and they put through the Bill of Rights. So, here's hoping, right? Anyway, I'm going to start off with a quick quote as if we need more things to talk about. But I found this one, and if I can find it now, where did I put it? It has nothing to do with what I'm going to talk about, but I really like this, and I don't know where I got it. I found it in an old notebook. I'd written it, sideways on the paper, of course. It says, forgiveness is the fragrance of the violet to the heel that has crushed it. I think that's poignant and sad and kind of true and sweet. Okay, so again, I'm not going to go over everything, but there's personal planet stuff happening. So I hope I can read my notes, because again, you don't even want to go there. Why do I have to doodle on everything too? That sounds funny, but okay. So I've got them numbered because there are just too many things. So I'm starting with, why did I start with this, I wonder? Oh, well, it doesn't matter. I started with Jupiter sextiling Uranus. Jupiter is 4 degrees of Leo. Uranus is 4 degrees of Gemini. Pluto is 4 degrees of Aquarius. And Neptune is 4 degrees of Aries. That's why we have this thing is exact. And it lasts, I think Molly McCord says it lasts until 2029. But it's exact right now. So anyway, I just said Jupiter sextiling Uranus. So we have Leo energy and Gemini energy. I had to write some of this down because I thought there's just too much. Okay, so Uranus in Gemini is like communications and messages where are we? Here. Messages and communications coming in suddenly, unexpected. And Jupiter's in Leo, who wants to be expressive. Leo rules the heart. And so this is some information coming in that has to do with your creativity and your heart, what resonates with you. Now, is it what you want to hear? Well, it's a positive aspect, so perhaps it is. There's a lot here about communication because we have Mars and Uranus and Gemini. So that's a positive thing. They're in sync with each other right now. So, there could be some open-hearted communication with someone. Yeah. And again, it depends on, where these planets fall in your chart, what houses and stuff like that. So that's the first thing. And then the second aspect I was going to briefly mention is, let's see, Jupiter and, Jupiter here in Leo, and trining, which is a really positive aspect. This is the one where the energy just flows openly. For better or worse, usually it's good, but it can be either one because you can't turn it off. So here's our expression, our feeling of expansion and growth and opportunity in Leo, the sign of creativity, the inner child, our heart, and romance sometimes. And it's in really good conversation with Neptune and Aries here. So this can be like adventurous energy, you know, like wanting to express your dreams, especially in a creative way. So your heart here and your imagination over here, especially in new endeavors, are really connected. It's a great time to start a new adventure. Could be in love, could be in really anything that you can imagine, anything that you've been wanting to do. This is really positive. And let's see, what do I have for number 3? Oh, I have Jupiter is opposite Pluto. So Jupiter's in Leo, Pluto's in Aquarius. Those are both fixed signs. So we have our personal expression here in Leo, and it's being opposed by this, I'll say Pluto's a little stronger because it's an outer planet. So this Pluto's a little bit larger vision. So here's the collective, and here's like doing things, looking at things in a new way. They're both fixed, but this is a broader vision because it's Aquarius. So Jupiter wants to express itself, and Pluto is saying, yes, but you have to do it in this new way that benefits all of us. And especially since Pluto rules transformation and death, it's like, you know, not in the same old way. You're not going to express yourself. We're going to have drama, yes, but not in the same old way. Yes, you're going to be creative, but you're going to be creative in a new way. You got to look at this differently. And how are other people going to look at it? And you got to let go of the old way. You got to transform it. So there's a clash here. There's a clash here. There's a new, there's a new guy in town saying, not a guy, but there's a new, it's just a saying we have. That's a song, I think. Anyway, there's a new vision, and it has to be incorporated into this. And they're struggling just a bit because this is more personal, you know, your personal creativity. Okay, so that is the third thing I was going to talk about. I have 5. And then, where's number 4? Oh, okay. Saturn in Aries here at 14 degrees is sextiling, which is positive. Mars in Gemini at 15 degrees. So they were just exact probably a day or so ago, but they're still, you know, still very close. So Saturn asks us to sort of, you know, build something real, make something real, and be, what's the word? Be not conservative, but be realistic about what we want to make something that's real, that we can count on, you know. And it also rules like blockages and restrictions, but this is a positive aspect. So I think we're dealing with more about creating something solid and real. And Mars is in Gemini, and Mars wants to express himself verbally and physically, and wants to have conversations, and, you know, so this is kind of helping here to ground our actions and our conversations a bit with our genuine desires and who we are. It's getting in touch with, on a very physical level and a spiritual level and a desire level, like who we are, like what resonates with our core truth here, our genuine self. We want that. We want that. And we want to express it. And we want to communicate with other people that feel like that. Okay. So there's that. And then last but not least, oh no, there's 2 more. Sorry. I just whistled. See? I can't whistle. Mercury retrograde in Cancer here, 16 degrees, is squaring Saturn in Aries. So this is more of a challenge here, because this is like Mercury here wants to think about feelings. This is Cancer is about, emotions and what nurtures us. And when it's retrograde, there's an issue, there's an aspect, I mean, about the past, childhood, mothering, nurturing. We've been talking about Cancer a lot. That just keeps coming up because I think he's retrograde till the end of the month. Yeah. And I should say he's a hermaphrodite. Anyway, so Mercury is squaring Saturn, and Saturn is in Aries. So, did I not make any notes on that? Thought I did. Nope, missed that one. So this is about, I think this is about processing on an emotional level and a mental level, because it's Mercury, where we were blocked, possibly in childhood, but emotionally, where our identity was kind of stifled, where it felt blocked, where our genuine self felt blocked, because the square is an uncomfortable aspect. So we're getting in touch with some old restrictions that have to do with, how people communicated with us about our nurturing. Were we allowed to speak out? Were we allowed to ask for what we needed? Where was the communication messed up? And it kind of blocked our blooming here. It blocked our expressing our desires. I don't know, it's tricky energy there with the retrograde, but there's always an aspect of the past, looking back on emotional things, and again, especially to do with our identity, but also how we take risks and how we express ourselves. So that's pretty heavy right there. And then last but not least, the sixth one, I forgot there were 6. Yes. We also have a square, another square. So we have Mercury and Saturn being squared, and we also have Venus squaring Mars. So Mars is in good conversation with Saturn. So this is good. Desires can, be, you can get stuff done. Let's put it that way. You can communicate some things. But the square between Venus in Virgo and Mars in Gemini, that's kind of tough, because these are both mutable signs. And so if you have, the mutable signs are Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, and Pisces. So this will affect those signs probably the most. But again, if you have any personal planets at these points, that's going to do it too. So Venus is our relationships, what we value, self-worth, sometimes money and possessions. And Mars is our desires, our physical actions, and our physical energy. When Mars is in Gemini, we can feel kind of scattered. We can be very restless. We want things fast. We want fast, frank conversations. We want mental stimulation. We want lots of choices. We're quick to speak out. And Venus in Virgo wants things more grounded, meticulous, conscientious, productive, stable. So these are not on the same page. There can be some impatience in communicating with other people about what we want, what we value. Relationships can be a little bit wonky, You're like, I want this, and I want it real, and I want it, just like everything perfect, and, you serve me this, and I'm going to, do this product or whatever. It's about, I say servicing, no, that's not right. It's about being of service to others and having them be of service to you, and you want it to be solid and reliable. And Mars is, just kind of all over the place here. I want to go in this direction, and this direction, and this direction, and I need more stimulation. And so there's a little, wait till you see what I drew for the relationship row. 4 majors. Okay, so I think that's enough. And actually, okay, I did this for like 10 p.m. Monday the 20th, if you're in New York, on the east coast of the U.S., okay? If, like, how many hours did I figure? Like 18 hours after that. Oh, gosh, I can't do math. Okay, I'm time challenged. So that would be 10 o'clock Tuesday. No. 10 o'clock in the morning, Tuesday morning. So it's like 6 p.m. Tuesday. The moon will be making an exact T-square to Jupiter and Pluto. in Scorpio. So there could be a little emotional, Tuesday could be an emotional day. It could be transformative. Just be very emotional, and something feels very stuck, unpleasant. Maybe a little problem with intimacy here. Just be careful with, feelings can get hurt. That's all I'm saying. Just be careful. We have, with Mars and Gemini, there's always a danger of saying too much, saying things too quickly. But we have to be frank and honest. There's that. Mars loves to be frank and honest. Okay. He rules Aries. All right. So I have pulled, this is the Oak, Ash, and Thorn deck from Three Trees Tarot. Do you know I just put that together? Oak, Ash, and Thorn, that's 3 trees. Okay. Yeah, and I was a child prodigy. Well, that didn't last, did it? Anyway. Okay, so I'm a little slow on the uptake sometimes. So I have done just general row. Top row is just our life. Bottom row is relationships. And that's the one that got all the majors. Actually, no, I take that back. There are 2 majors in the top row. I got 6 majors out of 8 cards. Holy moly. Okay. So we start off with, oh, it's better. I knew I had those up where I wanted them, and then it looked funny. Okay. We start off with the Tower. Yippee! This is probably all that Uranus energy. So, oh, let me timestamp, excuse me. Or something to write on. Okay. The Tower. Something unexpected comes in. And you know, I'm just going to say this, and this might not be for everyone. This might not be for everyone. But I got the feeling when I was looking at these cards that this could be something that happened in the past that you're still dealing with. And I'm not sure, that's only going to be for some of us. And then others, it's something coming in now or very soon. Something sudden that just, it changes everything. And the card that follows, I think this is what it shakes up, the 9 of Pentacles. Here is this rabbit. The 9 of Pentacles is feeling grounded, having everything you need, and appreciating what you have. But look at the look on this rabbit's face. It's like he or she senses something, there's something in the air. I think these definitely go together. Your sense of stability and abundance was either shaken, I don't know why I'm getting a past feeling of this, or it's going to be, but there's a shakeup. It's like, whoops, I thought I had it all together, but something's changed. And, you know, with this which one is it? I keep calling him the wrong name. Barbault's basket, there could be some changes coming around. But again, that's probably a more slower, more collective thing. But again, it can affect all of us. Okay, so something comes along that's unexpected, that you kind of felt coming. You felt it coming. You knew it was coming, but you didn't know what it was going to be. And when it arrived, you're like, uh-oh, now what? Well, this is what. These two came out together. We get the 5 of Cups, which is a sadness card. It's mourning. It's, you know, loss. There's been a loss, or you're processing a loss. And it comes out with the Lovers. Now, in most decks, this is the Choice. In this deck, it isn't. In this deck, they call it Unity and Commitment, which is interesting. So, I just feel like there's been a loss. There's something that you had to give up. Could be a person, could be a relationship, it could be something else. But it was very emotionally grieving to you. And it's time to process it. It's time to really feel it. I know that doesn't sound like fun, but again, something shook our stability here, or it's going to, and then we get to integrate this loss. Finally gets integrated. That's why I feel like it's a past thing. I feel like this is being integrated. And look what it achieves, though. All is not lost, because we end up with the King of Pentacles. And again, this is just our everyday life. This is us in our outer world. The King of Pentacles. This is awesome. This is great, because now we finally gain a sense of control. We start off with the Tower, which is out of our control, and we end up in control. We have what we need. We are king of our own castle. We are, we've got our act together. We feel more stable. We start out thinking we're stable, but then, you know, something gets shaken. Once you process the loss, you feel even more stable. Now you're the king, okay? This is where you need to be and where you want to be, and this is good. Stability. Okay, then I said for the bottom row, I said, what about our relationships? Well, I get the Devil. So an old pattern comes up. There could be someone you're communicating with, or someone you meet, or whatever, but some old relationship pattern that you had to deal with in the past comes up again for review. Maybe you find yourself falling into an old pattern. Here it is again, rears its ugly head, okay? But it's here for a reason. It's not here to devil you. It's here to be transformed. You can change it. You can become aware of it now, and you can say, I'm going to do this differently. I'm going to do this differently. Because look what comes next, judgment. We look back on the past and we say, okay, wait a minute. I've been down this road. I've been down this road, but I don't have to go down this road again. I can fly up above with all these transformative butterflies. I can fly above it and take a deeper look, a higher look, you know, a different perspective. Past, present, and future all come together at once. And you're like, oh, okay, I see where this is going. I don't want to go down that path again. And then we get the High Priestess. So when you take that look with Mercury retrograde in Cancer, you take that emotional look backward, it asks you also to don't discount your intuition. Follow your intuition. Get in touch with your inner High Priestess, because with Mercury retrograde in Cancer, this is a great time to get in touch with that. Cancer is ruled by the moon, and this is not an owl. I was going to say it's an owl. It's not. I don't know what it is. But, you know, she's got the scroll of wisdom, a compass. She's the High Priestess. Yeah. So this is really a boost of intuitive knowing. And you need to follow this. You need to follow this. This will steer you in the right direction. And then look what we get at the end. We went from the King of Pentacles at the end of this to the Emperor. Wow. So we can really get on top of our situations here and be in control, be the authority figure. You don't have to let other people tell you what to do, and don't use this energy to tell others what to do, but you know, you can be a guide sometimes. But follow your intuition, and if you do, we have some real power available to us right now. And you know, this Barbault's basket thing that I was talking about, that's very powerful. That's very powerful. So just, you know, be careful. But it looks like we have an opportunity right now to really get in touch with some inner power, inner and outer, I would say. So don't let anybody push you around. You got it here. You got it going on. And it's all about being intuitive here. Yeah. Okay, well, I just wanted to pull one oracle card, and I got Between Worlds, which makes sense to me, because if the information I was reading about this Barbault's basket is correct, it ushers in a real change on the collective level, and of course that affects all of us. So you might feel like you're betwixt and between. I know I have been feeling that way lately. let's see, what are the key words here? I think we kind of know what this means, but it's moving from one to another. Transitions, not being quite out of one situation and fully engaged in another. Temporary blindness and no man's land. Yeah. So let go of the tendency to make assumptions. You can't see what's ahead. Cultivate curiosity. Trust the process of change and growth. Yep. Yeah, I feel that very strongly in many different ways. So that makes sense to me. I hope the reading makes sense. So please leave me a comment. Let me know how this energy is treating you. And also let me know, I still would like to do, I did one, I forget what the date was, but I did a little thing on my phone. I held my phone in front to show how to get your chart from astro.com for free. I'm kind of feeling like doing that again. So just let me know if you would appreciate that, or if you have any questions, or if I can, or anything you'd like a special, like me to focus on, just whatever. Just let me know what's going on. And also please hit the like, share, and subscribe buttons. And I will talk to everyone later. And thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you. Thank you. Blessings. Good night.